everywhere.
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we are here to do.
It's like deja vu.
We got to warm it back up.
It's like deja vu.
All right, we can't throw the live away, but you know. Y'all saw that, right? We're back, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll be back.
Let's go.
Deja vu when I'm out here.
Come on, let's get it warmed up again.
It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. It's return of the man. They say I'm off the rails. I can't wait for you. I get it for myself. So many places to be. I got plenty.
Wow.
Act like you've been in before we start tripping.
They mad at me.
Don't mistake me for a lame or goofy.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Come on back.
Life is like a movie. Hollywood, where you be at? I remember when I used to drive a Fiat.
Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So where we were at was we talked about a very vile and disgusting story, and then the live got flagged. That's why I say, ladies and gentlemen, leave it up to Big Zeus, because I know where I can go and then where I can't go, and then you know what, we got to shut it down and restart. But for what it's worth, ladies and gentlemen, it's more evidence that we have a real serious problem in this country. And yet it does have a lot to do with racism, but it's not the racism they like to talk about. It's the real racism, the one they don't want to take accountability about, right? But over here on this show, we'll help them to take accountability, right? And so what I need you all to do is this: join me in warming up the lake of fire once again for this MAGA demon who traveled across state lines to commit some of the most worst crimes we've ever seen in American history. I'm glad the cops actually stopped him, right? We don't want to defund the police, right? But we want to make sure they're doing the job and going after the real bad guys, all right? And they did in this case, but the demon, he got to go. Join me in sending this demon, this racist demon, where he belongs, straight to hell. Thank you, everyone.
Silence, you MAGA.
And that's a huge, ladies and gentlemen, a very, very huge W, Zeus. It's a huge W, Zeus. I mean, and by the way, thank you to all of you in the audience who came back here. And I didn't do this, but I know it was a demon out there that reported Big Zeus. Listen up, MAGA. You're never going to win. You're never going to defeat me. You're never going to change my mind. You're not going to change the minds of any of these people. So if you cannot handle me waking your game up, so to speak, because that's what I'm doing, I'm waking your game up, right? Then just leave. You've heard my PSA announcement so many times.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
It's easy to do.
Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Thank you. I just have a question. Does anybody think that this show is a divisive show? I'm just thinking about it. It just popped in my mind. Does anyone think that what I'm doing is divisive in this country? Or does anyone? I just thought of that because it came across my radar that some people really think I'm as divisive as Barack Obama. No. Okay. All right. Thank you. W to the chat. Yeah. Because all I can say is this. If I've been dealing with this and the rest of the country has been dealing with this MAGA, why can't you? Now you're not alphas, you're betas, you're weak. And I'm going to continue to expose them, all right? So W to the chat. It's hard truth. Thank you. Thank you, Slick23. Wow, that made my morning. Here's some more hard truth. MAGA has become an iconic tragedy, all right? And this is from Owen Schroyer. I've been following him. I follow a lot of these conservative right-wing influencers, but I really do have to give them some credit for at least they're not Democrats, all right? They're never going to do that, but at least showing MAGA who their daddy is, because that to me, once you start showing MAGA who their daddy is, that's when this stuff starts to hit home a lot more. So what we're going to do, I don't want to listen to the whole thing, but we're going to give him a moment to express to Donald Trump how he ended up in this situation where his poll numbers aren't at the level he's saying they are. And I'm doing this especially to the conservatives, the Trump voters that follow me and always like to come in and say that I'm lying. I know you're always going to say a Democrat saying it means we're lying. So that's why I go get people that are on your side to say some of the things that are true. So listen up, MAGA. All right. This is free knowledge in a way.
So I'm sure by now you've noticed that all of the Trump loyalists that called us panicans last year are starting to have their own panikin episode, freaking out about 2026 midterms and the 2028 presidential election. Now, of course, us panicans, as we were so called, are now being proven right, or I guess just ahead of the curve. But here's the ironic tragedy that MAGA has become, and why it's simply not going to be moving anytime soon. Notice what's being asked.
Here it goes.
Of the so-called panicans, or the people that are loyal to ideas and issues and not persons or personalities. The America First policies are what they're asking us to sacrifice. So it's not, we're going to drop the foreign policy that's a disaster, and we're going to get back to the things that we ran on that are populist and America First issues. No, we're not going to do that to save the midterms. No, we're not going to do that to rally and create momentum for 2028. No, you need to sacrifice your America First policies. You need to sacrifice the policies that you voted for the foreign interests and the special interests. That's what's being asked. And they say, you better sacrifice those policies or we're going to lose the midterms and we're going to lose the general.
You hear this, MAGA? You hear this? This is why Donald Trump's poll numbers are where they are at. And this is not coming from a Democrat. This is coming from someone on your side. It's not America First. It's not, again, MAGA, what Donald Trump ran on, he is not doing. All he is doing is enriching himself and his billionaire friends and destroying the country, all right? So the quicker you wake up, the quicker this nightmare ends.
No, you guys sacrificed those policies. We warned that would lead to multiple election cycle losses. Now you're just admitting it after saying, we don't need you, we don't want your vote. But let's just look at it at a policy basis. Instead of getting Doge cuts and arrests for $1 trillion of waste, fraud, and abuse every year, instead you're getting more foreign aid.
Did you hear that, MAGA? You were supposed to get Doge cuts, but you're actually doing the exact opposite. Wake up.
Instead of stopping the regime change wars and stopping the foreign entanglements, you're getting more regime change wars, more foreign entanglements.
In other words, MAGA, Donald Trump is lying to you. The exact same thing he's telling you to accept, he's doing the exact opposite of it.
Instead of, with the Epstein files, arresting the co-conspirators, bringing in all the disgusting monsters that were a part of the Epstein network, instead you're telling us to move on. And it's a hoax.
You hear that, MAGA? He's playing in your faces. And you keep trying to say eventually there's going to be sunshine with Donald Trump. It's never going to happen. Listen, wake up.
This is why you're going to lose the midterms. And people that have principle, like me, are not just going to give this up. But that's what we're being told to do. Oh, just give up your values, give up your principles, just accept more bad foreign policy, just accept more foreign entanglements, just accept more foreign aid, except we're not going to drain the swamp, except we're not going to make deep state arrests. You just have to accept this because we need to win the midterms.
You hear that? And I'm making sure, I want DJ, just don't even come up. Just make sure you let me know you're in here listening to this while you're sitting on TikTok, pretending like you're some sort of political guru. Listen to what your man is saying. He's closer than Trump than you are. At least I think.
Well, what's the point? What's the point? Why would we get involved and fight and sacrifice for a movement that we have no control over, that we don't even get the results that we want out of? It makes no sense for us, and yet this is what's being asked of us, and of course we're not doing it. So at first they called us panicans, now they're panicking themselves, except they won't adjust and actually go with the policy that's going to win the midterms. They refuse to sacrifice the bad policies and the bad results which is why we're going to lose the midterms if you're looking at this from a right-wing perspective.
Did you hear that? If you're looking at this from a what perspective? A radical left? A Democrat? No, from a right-wing perspective. And this goes back to my question that I was asking the Russian Bears yesterday and Snuggie. What poll numbers are you looking at that support this fantasy you have that Donald Trump is doing well? Everybody in the world sees he's not doing well, including people on the right.
So it's quite an ironic tragedy that this is where we're at. And what's going to be the final punchline in it all is if and when Republicans do lose the Senate and the House, they're going to blame everybody that warned them this was going to happen. They're going to blame everybody that actually stuck to America First principles and values and wanting to hold the administration to what we voted on. That's going to be the final punchline in this MAGA irony tragedy.
Boom. Boom, 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 boom. It's going to be the final punchline in the MAGA irony tragedy. You know, and it's good news to Big Zeus. We've been prophesying this for years. The thing is, we all knew, especially those of us on the left and real Republicans and real independents, we've known Donald Trump is an immoral person and that you cannot separate the immoral person from their policies, because one thing you got to have is integrity, and you got to be able to trust people, right? If he promises you something, if he's a person that keeps his word, then you know he's going to deliver on it. Everybody knows you cannot lie over 30,000 times like he did in his first term and expect him to actually keep his promises that he was making. But MAGA, y'all went for this. So this is the making a bed part and you got to sleep in it part, right? And the second thing is we saw him lie all throughout C-19, literally playing with lives of American people, lied on January 6th. So it's not a shock to me that Donald Trump has gotten into the White House and done everything he can as a criminal. It's not shocking to me. But what I got to do is this. You know what, Owen? I got to say this. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this, because I'm going to use it to do the next part of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire. This is for all the Trump voters. It's only the first quarter. Don't tap out now. Do full 4 quarters. I want to make sure when it's all said and done, that demon is done. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these demons straight to hell. They don't like me. They don't like me on TikTok. I get it. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And that's another huge W, Zeus. And please share this live with all of your Trump supporter friends, especially. Tap the screen and share the live, all right? Because we got to get this show to the next level, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody on earth needs to hear this show, because there's no one that's going to deliver the truth the way that we do, all right? We don't cut corners on this show. We don't coddle people, especially these so-called alpha males. We don't coddle you. We're going to tell it to you like it is, and it's just going to be like that. Case closed. W Zeus. All right. Now, the last thing that I do need to address, ladies and gentlemen, and this has to do with our fearless governor out here in the state of California, Governor Gavin Newsom. I understand, Governor Gavin Newsom, you're catching some backlash as a result of the remarks that you made about your book tour that you were having, and you said some things, and you don't need to apologize. That's not what this is about. You don't need to apologize, because I'm an adult and I get what you mean, all right? And I always listen for what people mean, not necessarily the little sound bites, all right? But we're going to address it on this show. So Gavin Newsom, ladies and gentlemen, is being accused by MAGA of being racist. He's being accused. Yeah, he's being accused of being racist. And I'm going to, we got to be transparent. We're going to play what he said. And then we're going to talk about this, because we got to always address things. All right. And we got to keep supporting the people on our side when they're coming into these moments. All right.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. I'm a 960 SAT guy. And I'm not trying to offend anyone, trying to act all there if you got 940. But literally a 960 SAT guy. I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech. This may be the wrong business to be in. You know, my dyslexia, I haven't overcome dyslexia. I'm living with it. You know, I was the guy in the back of the classroom and my head down, just praying the teacher didn't call on me. I went through, I mean, I think I lost count of how many schools I had to go to. And, you know, I'll never forget, I'll never, ever forget. My mom's choice was never to label me. She just had to struggle with me. And I walked in, I'll never forget this. It was probably 8th or 9th grade, walking home, got home early. My mom was always working, so, you know, I'm cooking, literally lived on Stouffer's lasagna, macaroni and cheese. I got finished, you know, 2 pots of macaroni and cheese and got bored. And I went upstairs and there was a file cabinet open and it said Gavin. In fact, she had a weird name, Gavinsky. That was like my nickname. And I opened it up and it was all of these reports from the doctors. And I never realized I was going after school 3 days a week. I didn't know what for. And it was all around, it was the lisp and the reading, the B's and the R's were backwards, spelling witch, W-I-C-H, or, you know, the whole, and I'm like, what is this? And that's when I learned I had, quote unquote, dyslexia. My mom was furious because she didn't want that to limit me.
There you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So there you have that, ladies and gentlemen. This is Gavin Newsom, as far as I am concerned, opening up, you know, to everybody there about something he's struggling with personally. And I had no real issue with it, not at all. I didn't even hear him not one time say anything negative about black people. I mean, as far as I am concerned, I can say it. A lot of black folks probably don't even know what an SAT score really means, especially if they're on the right. You see, I just did that because I know a lot of these Trump voters. How do you have intelligence and then you go and vote for Donald Trump? But Gavin Newsom wasn't even making it about race. That's the point. But somebody told MAGA that they should be outraged about this, that they should identify this as racist, and then they should be upset. So now my question to MAGA is, are you anti-racist now, MAGA? You support DEI policies now, MAGA? Because you can't have it. You can't have this. You can't have it both ways. It's amazing how quick MAGA is to call somebody else a racist. And you know what it reminded me of, ladies and gentlemen? It reminded me of this. Remember this? You know, remember how sensitive MAGA got when Joe Biden said this? And I'm going to play it for you. All right.
About your running mate. I don't know if you saw. Well, I saw the day that the news report broke that Amy Klobuchar was being vetted, and a lot of people on social media, they're not too happy about that. And it's because they want your running mate to be a black woman. I don't know if you saw the op-ed in the Washington Post by some of the leading black women voices in this country, and they feel since black women are such a loyal voting bloc, and black people saved your political life in the primaries this year, they have things they want from you, and one of them is a black woman running mate. What do you say to them?
What I say to them is that I'm not acknowledging anybody who is being considered, but I guarantee you there are multiple black women being considered.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple.
Well, you know,
Thanks so much. That's really our time. I apologize.
You can't do that to black media.
I can't do that to white media and black media because my wife has to go on at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Oh, I'm in trouble.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something.
There you go. See that? And I thought about what Joe Biden said, and I'm at the same point with Joe Biden. You're not black. If you were confused, and there's a lot of people who present as black, but I don't consider them black. No. How could you literally vote against your own interests and claim you're black? You're not black. You're confused. All right. And that's a huge W, Zeus, and that's a huge W, Joe Biden. And so this message is really for the black conservatives out there that are rushing to attack Governor Gavin Newsom. All right. First of all, and again, I got to play this too. This is on Fox News today, ladies and gentlemen. You won't believe this. This is what they do. They try to dogpile on Gavin Newsom, and I'm going to address this. Who is this demon right here? The GOP chair out here in California. She decided, her name is Corinne Rankin. She's trying to blast Governor Gavin Newsom, but she actually got in trouble with Big Zeus. We're going to listen to what she has to say about those remarks that Governor Gavin Newsom said, all right? And this is what Fox is pushing.
Saying something like this.
This is what Fox News is pushing.
My first instinct was I couldn't believe that the governor of California was saying something like this in 2026. You know, having the mindset that Black people are intellectually inferior is deeply rooted in racism.
Gavin Newsom never said that, ma'am. Where did Gavin Newsom say that?
And it goes back for generations. Trying to blame this on dyslexia is something that is completely separate from what he intended to say. He truly believes that Black people, Black Americans are intellectually inferior. That is where his comments were coming from. It's a continued narrative that's being brought out by this governor. Last week, he said that Black Americans are unable to get IDs or get passports, which is something that is just absurd.
No. What's absurd, ma'am, is the outrage you all of a sudden have when it comes to racism. See, you didn't say anything when Donald Trump and his people did anything racist. You actually rushed to defend it. Gavin Newsom makes one remark and all of a sudden you're trying to dogpile on him everything you know Donald Trump is doing and more.
See Black people here in California driving every day to and from work. In order to do that, they need a driver's license, aka an identification. So we all have them. We're all smart enough. We're all capable enough. We know how to drive. We know how to go down to the DMV and stand in line and take a test, and we pass that test.
You know what? I got to stop this right here, ladies and gentlemen. One thing I can't do is I can't stand a race traitor. I can't do it. I just can't do it, ma'am. We're going to go ahead and send that demon straight to hell, as well as any of these other race traitors, so to speak. Because I've always said this: if you're a Trump supporter, you know what you stand for. You stand for being racist and a misogynist. That's right off top. You go a little further to the right, you get into that sedition stuff, right? January 6th, so to speak, or what this person is doing, race traitor. All right. And then you go a little further to the right and you end up in that Epstein territory. You know what I'm saying? Guardians of P3DO. So I don't want to hear it anymore, ma'am. All right. And what I'll do is we're going to go ahead and set the record straight about our good friend, Governor Gavin Newsom, W. Zeus style. All right. So I have a message. I must, ladies and gentlemen, once again, address a troubling, very troubling spectacle that has unfolded in our national discourse. This so-called, quote, MAGA manufactured outrage directed at Governor Gavin Newsom over his recent remarks about the SAT scores needs to be addressed. This controversy, ladies and gentlemen, amplified by former President Donald Trump and his supporters, exemplifies a deliberate distortion of facts designed to inflame division rather than foster understanding. It is imperative that we examine this matter with clarity, precision, and reject the baseless accusations of racism leveled against Governor Gavin Newsom while exposing the profound hypocrisy that's inherent in such critiques. Let us first clarify the nature of Governor Gavin Newsom's statements during a book tour event in Atlanta. In conversation with Mayor Andre Dickens, Newsom shared a personal anecdote about his lifelong struggle with dyslexia. He recounted scoring a 960 SAT, a detail he has disclosed publicly for years, a detail that he has disclosed with the late Charlie Kirk. And he also has explained his challenges with reading and speeches, all right? His words were, quote, "I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you." Let me say that again. I'm not trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm not better than you. All right. I am a 960 SAT guy. You have never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech. This was not an insinuation about race. It was a candid reflection on personal adversity intended to build rapport through shared human vulnerability. As Newsom's spokesperson Izzy Garden aptly stated, quote, "First, MAGA mocked his dyslexia, and now they're calling him a racist for talking about his low SAT score. This is fake MAGA manufactured outrage. Critics, including Senator Tim Scott, have misconstrued this as stereotyping Black Americans. Yet, the context reveals no such intent." Atlanta Mayor Dickens himself defended Newsom, emphasizing that context matters. To label this as racist is not only inaccurate, but a willful perversion of truth, ignoring Newsom's consistent narratives of overcoming dyslexia to inspire others. In stark contrast to these unfounded allegations, Governor Gavin Newsom's record demonstrates unwavering support for the Black community in California. So listen up, Dame. I know you're listening. All right. He has championed policies that directly address systemic inequalities and historical injustices. Notably, in 2024, Newsom signed a series of bills backed by California Legislative Black Caucus, including a formal bipartisan apology for the state's role in perpetuating slavery and its lingering effects. This apology acknowledges California's historical complicity in discriminating practices that thwarted Black home ownership and business opportunities. Furthermore, in 2025, he approved legislation establishing the Bureau of Descendants of American Slavery, a groundbreaking agency tasked with administering restitution and verifying eligibility for reparations program, allocating up to $6 million for research into lineage verification. This initiative represents a tangible step towards rectifying centuries of harm. Newsom's commitments extend beyond reparations. He has enacted measures to combat employment discrimination, expand preschool access for underserved communities, and provide enhanced financial aid for foster youth, many of whom are disproportionately Black families. He introduced the nation's first Ebony Alert system to locate missing Black children and young women, addressing a critical gap in public safety. In health equity, Newsom has invested in initiatives to reduce maternal mortality rates, which disproportionately affect Black women through the Omnibus Act and other reproductive health reforms. Additionally, he prohibited discrimination based on racial traits like hair texture and required advance notice for grocery store closures in food deserts, often impacting Black neighborhoods. These actions are not mere gestures. They are substantive policies that promote equity, opportunity, and justice for Black Californians. This pattern of manufactured outrage bears a striking resemblance to the selective indignation surrounding former President Joe Biden's 2020 remark during an interview on The Breakfast Club, where he stated, "If you have a problem figuring out whether or not you're for me or Trump, you ain't Black." While Biden's comments were criticized as presumptuous and led to widespread backlash, prompting him to apologize for being a cavalier, it was swiftly amplified by MAGA supporters and Republican figures, including Senator Tim Scott, who labeled it offensive and indicative of racial pandering. Yet, these same voices are now decrying Newsom's dyslexia anecdote is racist, conveniently ignores the context of Biden's statements, which are intended as jest amid a broader discussion on policy impact for Black voters. This parallel underscores a consistent tactic, weaponizing isolated remarks from Democrat leaders to stoke division while excusing or downplaying the far graver instances of racism from their own side. Now consider the glaring hypocrisy of those who complain about Newsom's remarks while overlooking or even endorsing the overt racism embedded in the Trump administration's actions and appointments. How can one claim they are outraged over dyslexia anecdotes when Trump's tenure was marked by policies and personnel that systemically undermined civil rights? Trump appointed figures like Stephen Miller, whose history includes promoting white supremacist ideologies and architecting anti-immigrant measures that disproportionately harmed communities of color. Steve Bannon, another key advisor, transformed Breitbart News into what the Southern Poverty Law Center described as, quote, white ethno-nationalist propaganda mill. In his second term, Trump has continued this pattern, appointing individuals such as Ed Martin, who defended January 6 insurrectionists and praised Nazi sympathizers, and Paul Ingrassia, known for racist comments and advocating for January 6 as a national holiday. Policy-wise, the Trump administration dismantled efforts to combat systemic racism. It banned federal trainings on unconscious bias and structural racism, labeling them divisive. Trump issued executive orders to eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, framing them as anti-white racism, thereby rolling back protections against discrimination in hiring and education. His cabinet remains overwhelmingly white. Let me say that again, MAGA. Donald Trump's cabinet remains overwhelmingly white, with only one black member, and he has fired prominent black officials such as Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook, the first black woman in that role. Trump's rhetoric has included derogatory terms like Kung Flu, remember that? During C-19, and references to African nations as S-hole countries, while he posted videos depicting President Obama as an ape. As Newsom himself's rhetoric to such critics, you didn't give a SHIT about Donald Trump, the president of the United States of America, posting a ape video of President Obama or calling African nations S-holes. But you're going to call me a racist for talking about my lifelong struggle with dyslexia. This selective indignation is not principled. It's partisan theater. So what I'll say is this MAGA manufactured outrage against Governor Gavin Newsom is a distraction from genuine progress and a shield for those whose records are stained by actual racism. And we must reject this hypocrisy. Yeah. And actually continue to support Governor Gavin Newsom. So I had to get that out, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm not going to sit here and be gaslit by MAGA into believing that Gavin Newsom is a racist person when I know what he's done for this wonderful state of California. And then at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and allow you Trump voters to get away with supporting one of the most racist, destructive, vile, sick presidents of our lifetime. And I don't want to hear it. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have no choice. Join me in warming up the lake of fire. Yeah, W's in the chat for Governor Gavin Newsom. Join me in warming up the lake of fire for these so-called, now they're DEI, right? Now I'm pro-DEI, I hate racism, but they still support Stephen Miller. Yeah, give me a break. Join me in sending these hypocrites where they belong, straight to hell. Yeah. Thank you.
Silence, you MAGA.
And that's a huge, huge W, Zeus, ladies and gentlemen. And I had to do that. Any questions? Any questions now? Any questions? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've concluded our monologue. W's in the chat for Rick. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I really get upset when people start trying to say folks are racist, but then they don't want to say anything about Governor Gavin Newsom. Hey, well, listen up. We're going to open up the box, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to start having some real conversations, all right? And so please continue to tap the screen and share the live. And you know the rules. I like to get up here and say, does anyone disagree with me, right? If you disagree with me, please feel free to hop in the box, all right? And remember the rules on the show, all right? Ignore the comments, all right? And just get up here and say what you need to say. We're going to try to keep it capped, you know, maybe keep it down to maybe 3 minutes max. And we're going to move it along, all right? Because, you know, and it's an open platform, so to speak. I don't mind talking to people seriously, but And I say this: leave all the real drama to Big Zeus, because you don't. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. A lot of you, trust me. I've been on this app, and I'll say this. These folks, they want you to give them a lot of attention. I don't give these people as much attention as they used to. They used to want me to give them so much attention. I don't do it anymore. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Let me bring up my good friend Q Dog. Welcome to the show.
What's going on, brother?
What's going on?
Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Yes. Happy Tuesday.
You know what really tugs my gears is that the ones that created racism, they want to do the same thing that Trump is doing with these Epstein files. They want to throw a smoke screen to make it seem like, oh, you're racist. Don't look at me. You're racist. So you created it, but then you want to use it against yourself.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Speak on it. Isn't it interesting that MAGA, they rushing to call Governor Gavin Newsom a racist?
They quick anything that has to do with black and brown, you want to flip it like we playing Uno. I'm gonna flip it back to you.
Yeah.
You the ones who created this, but it's amazing how you created something. You want to take a credit for everything that black folks have done and invented and created, from music to anything that's a part of life.
Yeah.
The traffic light, toilets, refrigerators. Anything that black folks created, you want to take credit for, except for racism.
Q Dog, Wendell in the audience said he wants you to answer a question. He says,
how about he come up here?
Who is you all? He won't come up here. You know how they are. They're too scared. They don't want to have a conversation.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about. I don't have to throw a rock into an empty room and see if the dog holler. A hit dog will holler.
Thank you. W's in the chat for Q Dog. I'll tell you. We're talking to you.
You want to know who? When the ones who ask who, I'm talking to you.
Hey, my man. Go ahead, Q Dog. Hit him with it. You better off keeping it shut. Seriously,
it just makes no sense. Yeah. It makes no sense to me, bro. Yeah, that's the best thing you could do is keep your. See, my grandmama used to say, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Because as soon as you open your mouth, you telling on yourself.
Speak on it. Yeah.
But help me explain to me why you want to take credit for everything except for this negative thing called racism.
Ain't that something? It's a good question.
You created this for black and brown folks for your own benefit, but you don't want to take credit for it because that stain is too dirty.
Yeah.
Way too dirty for your clean image.
And it goes back to, we know what they were doing during slavery, going out into the outhouse and taking what's not theirs from black folks, especially the women. You know what they were doing.
Oh yeah, I know that forehand with my grandmother.
Yeah, but they don't want to ever acknowledge that. You know what they'll say? It's in the past. That's what they like.
Oh, don't speak on that.
Yeah.
No, we need to leave that alone. And then we have these grandmas out here that oh, don't you talk about Master Trump. He's a good man.
Just sit.
I seen a video that it was AI generated, but it was a good video of every last one of our people that stood for us through the times of racism and hatred. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
Jesse Jackson. And they stood next to their grave plots. And you sit back and think about, these are the people who actually gave up their life for you to have a life.
Facts.
And I'm speaking to you, Blagger. They gave up their life. And it's amazing how these folks, and I'm including MAGA in this as well. It's amazing how you talk about Jesus and you love Jesus and this and that and the other, but you're spewing all types of hatred. And this man gave up his life for you.
Sick.
Help me make it make sense.
Yeah.
Would you do the same if the roles were reversed and you was on them stairs that Jesus stood on next to Barabbas? Would you trade places with Jesus?
No, they wouldn't.
You say you're a Christian, you say you love God, you love your fellow man, but you really don't. Would you trade places with Jesus?
Nope. They know they won't. They know they won't.
We know you won't.
Thank you. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Q-Dog. We're going to move it on, bro. But if we get somebody up here that needs, the tag team treatment, I'm hoping you'll still be here because they hide it and they're listening. All right?
No doubt, bro. I'm here if you need me.
Fair enough. W's in the chat. For our good friend, my brother Q-Dog. No lies detected. Ladies, calm down. And you know what he like to do up there? Calm down, ladies. Yeah. Does anybody disagree? I saw Leo. Where's Leo at? Leo, you want to get up here and say something to Big Zeus? Come on, Leo. Otherwise, I'm going to ask that the mods put you in that straitjacket because, Leo, here's the thing. You don't run anything except that keyboard or whatever you're using to type in my comment section. Other than that, you don't run anything. And as far as I'm concerned, you're nothing without Big Zeus. W's in the chat. You're nothing without me. Think about that. I'm the one cracking the whip on your back. It's me, Leo, doing it to you. Yeah. And ask me, how do I feel about doing it? It's one of the greatest things I've ever done. I love letting MAGA know who's really in control because they're not in control. If they really sat back and think about it, they're not in control. You lost any type of ability to come to me, man to man, woman to woman, when you made it clear that you are okay with Donald Trump robbing you with these tariffs. I'm like, you cannot listen. You took how much from me illegally? They don't like it when I use the word illegal, but what he did with IEPA, that was illegal. The Supreme Court confirmed it. He didn't have the authority to do it, right? So he's stolen thousands and thousands of dollars from me, from you. It's a no-brainer. Ain't no way I could go in the voting booth and vote for more of that. I got to respect myself at that point, because if I go in the voting booth, especially, and I got to say this to the people that are in relationships, especially the so-called alpha males, what message do you think you're sending to your family and your members in your community when you say, I'm going to go vote for a person that I know has robbed me? It's open season. It's the W's. I couldn't do it. No. Because that's how I see it. I connect dots in ways people probably say you shouldn't connect it. But I'm like, he took thousands of dollars from me, and he's not even trying to give it back. And he wants me to go in there and vote for more of that? Absolutely not. I love myself too much. W, Zeus. All right, who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? Who do we got next? All right, make sure you understand. Good morning, Tex ADs, the girl. Good morning.
Oh. Hey, Zeus.
Hi, how are you? Did you accidentally send a guest request?
I did. I wonder how that happens, but that's okay. I was enjoying the conversation. I have no idea. I'm out walking with my dog, but sure, happy to talk.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to interrupt you, but if there's something you want to
it's all good.
Is there something you want to say quickly? All right.
Quickly, I'm just saying, those people I was thinking about it as I'm walking. I'm like, yeah, this is exactly, he wasn't saying anything racist.
Now, ma'am, I got to move on because I can hear the wind. But once you're calm, come on back sorry. And I'll hear from you, all right? Thank you so much. W's in the chat, TX. She's beautiful, by the way. All right, she's very beautiful. I could hear it in her voice, and I think she was going to speak on the racism stuff. So once you get calm, send me a guest request, and I'll bring you right on back. It won't take long, all right? Moving it along. It was the wind, okay. It was the wind. Good morning, Huck. I feel like I've spoken to Huck before. Huck. Into that, Huck, you sound sick, bro. Whatever you're doing, knock it off. All right, let me bring up Takesha. Good morning, Takesha. I don't know what that was. I didn't even want to give it a chance. Yeah.
Hey Zeus, I'm gonna be real quick because I gotta go.
Okay.
it amazes me that white people can say what's racist.
Mm.
And I'm gonna say it like this. Why did they go straight to black people when he talked about SAT scores? Because the black people are not the only people that take SATs.
Facts.
So they made it racist when they started speaking on it. He was talking about black people because that man never said anything about black children.
Amen.
But they did.
Tell them, Takesha.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So they made it racist by assuming that black children are the only ones that score lower on SATs, Zeus. Because black children aren't the only ones that get SAT tests.
Facts.
So they made it racist. Nothing Gavin Newsom said was racist.
No.
They turned it racist because when they think about SAT scores, they think that black people can't pass those tests.
Facts. W's in the chat for Takesha.
They made it racist.
I appreciate that, Takesha. Seriously. No.
Yeah, they made it racist.
Yeah. I mean, and so what do you say to Tim Scott? Because he seems to be the one.
Tim Scott is a big teeth idiot who needs a gate around his teeth because braces won't work. They need to put a full-on raw iron gate around his teeth to draw him back in. He makes me utterly sick.
Thank you.
Any man that stood up there and said, I just love you, Trump, I have no respect for him.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you. W's in the chat for Takesha. She's not lying. And Vegas girl, why do people keep asking, who are they? What do you mean when you say they? You know who we're talking about. And if it applies to you, then
excuse me.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Vegas girl know not to say nothing to me.
Okay.
Because I don't say nothing to her.
Thank you.
Her best bet is to never comment when don't address. I don't call her out her. And that same respect.
Okay.
Do not address anything that I got.
Okay. All right. W to
Bye,
Takesha.
Zeus.
Thank you. See, you didn't got Takesha upset. Don't do that, ladies. In and out like a burger over here. W's listening. I mean, we're getting it. Is there anybody out there that disagrees with any of the content I've covered so far? All right. Does anyone out there disagree with any of the content? Just identify yourselves in the audience real quick. I'll give people, it's an equal opportunity. And the reason that I do this, it's not necessarily because I want to interact with MAGA. It's really because I know that they're going to try to ambush me. If I do pull up, I got a song called Pull Up, by the way, right? But when I pull up on the MAGA Live, it's just incredible. It's incredible how many times they all have the same script. I'm going to ambush Zeus, and I'm going to bring up something that I know he doesn't know, right? Because they've been reading about something, and then they find me in the line. What do you know about this, Zeus? I got you. No, you didn't. Come onto the platform, and you tell us all what you've been reading, so we all can be as wise as you. And they'll never, ever do it. DJ here. I'm at work, Zeus. Oh, you've been at work ever since them tariffs got found to be illegal. Isn't that funny, huh, W Zeus? You've been at work all right. I thought you were balling. I thought you were jumping out of the gym. I thought you had racks, literally growing out of these streets. You don't got anything. So, yeah, of course you're going to be doing that, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It's really sad. Really, it really is. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we got? Who do we got next? Make sure you double check to see if you are in the guest request on accident, because there's a rule. If I bring you up and it was an accident, then you got to send 2 galaxies. All right. You can't have Rick paying for the galaxies. Connie, do you know you're in my guest request, Connie? Connie Barnes, 8311. Yeah, you in my guest request, ma'am. And I can hear what you're doing. Connie Barnes, 8311. All right, that's 2 galaxies mod. Please keep track of Connie Barnes. 2 galaxies. Connie Barnes, just so you know, I love you, all right, but you were in the guest request on accident, and I heard something. I don't want to get too deep into it, but it was questionable, to say the least. Moving it along, all right, who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? Patricia Bell. Patricia Bell, are you there? Patricia Bell.
Sí, ok. Sí. Más que para que pues que la condición que tenemos a pelea ellos bacán.
We're watching Telemundo. Patricia Bell. All right, Patricia Bell owes 2 galaxies too. It doesn't. I mean, this is easy to do. It really is. Let's go. Who do we got next? Chelsea. Good morning, Chelsea. Welcome to the show. Are you there, Chelsea?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to.
Oh no. Oh. So you owe the 2 galaxies? Is that what
I'm walking into my job and I probably pressed it on accident.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, Chelsea NBA, keep up the great work. All right, I'm gonna let you get off, but rules are rules. All right. She says she's walking into the job. Oh my gosh, what time is it? All right, it's 8 a.m. Okay, fair enough. All right, moving it along, ladies and gentlemen. W's in the chat. Haven't you? Don't send the guy. I'm kidding. I just try to come up with a creative way to deal with this. All right. The real one. Good morning. The real one. The real one. All right, moving it along, ladies and gentlemen. You see what we're doing? Oh my goodness. Wow. I might have to clear the whole guest request. Who is this? All right, blessed. 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 I can hear you. All right, don't send a guest request, ladies and gentlemen. I'm clearing it all out. Sometimes you could be tapping the screen and you could be ending up W's in the chat for heaven. Jesus Christ. We're going to clear out the guest request again, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Okay, I'm trying. Okay, there you go. Oh my gosh. Wow. They just keep sending it. I don't know what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. The real one, I just spoke with you, the real one. Let me see. All right, let's see if we could get Bounce up here. I don't know if this is real or not. Bounce, welcome.
Hey, good morning.
Oh my goodness. Did you accidentally send the guest?
No, okay. I didn't accidentally do nothing.
All right, fair enough. Wow.
Okay. So I want to know, where was all you YT people's rage when Trump said that if he turned the lights out, all he could see is black people's teeth?
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yes. So where was your outrage for that? Where was your outrage when he was doing unspeakable things to a microphone in front of children? Or when and the people when he was at his rally?
Yeah.
Where was your outrage when he was talking about showed the picture of Obama and his wife as monkeys? Where was your outrage for that? Where is your outrage for him getting his wife a fake citizenship? Where was your outrage for that?
Yeah.
You all know that when she had that little mom, that she was not a citizen. Okay?
Yeah.
So let's talk about her being in them files too.
Go ahead, Bounce.
Where's your outrage for that? Where's your outrage for him trying to take away our children's black history taught in schools? Where's your outrage for that? Okay? So I don't want to hear nothing about what he said. Hell, a lot of people are dyslexic. Dyslexics doesn't equal black people. And if you want to talk about SAT scores, we all know that Trump's were lower than the kindergartners.
Hey, let's go ahead, Bounce. Tell him.
So y'all better get your facts straight.
Thank you.
Vegas girl, I don't like you either.
Dang.
Because you're a two-sided traitor, is what you are.
Fair enough.
And you can't even slide down that pole you got on your picture because you weigh 500 pounds. So you better leave Takesha alone. That's what you better do.
Wow. Goodness gracious. I mean, the East Coast ain't got no love for the West Coast. All right, good. Thank you, Bounce.
You're welcome. Love you.
All right, love you too. Oh my gosh. Chat for my good friend Bounce. I noticed Taurus, can I ask you a question? Why were you in the audience saying no, Taurus? Why are you in my audience, Taurus? What is there something you disagree with us about this morning, Taurus? Haven't seen you in a while. It's interesting that you're here. Is there something that you want to say to Big Zeus this morning? Go ahead, send me a guest request, Taurus. I want to double check with you because I just don't understand what you disagree with. I don't understand how you could literally sit up here and support a racist administration. I don't get it. I mean, am I missing something? All right. I guess Taurus decided she knew better. W to all of you in the chat. You know, a lot of people, I'll be honest, they prefer I do the show with no MAGA interference because they're like, we just want the truth, Zeus. We really don't like hearing what MAGA has to say. A lot of people have said that. And so I think MAGA even is at the point where they're going, we don't even want to hear what people that are on our side have to say because they know how much trouble that they are truly in, and rightfully so. I mean, look at what you've done to this great country. It was once a little bit on its way to being great, but now we're in so much trouble. Good morning, my good friend Cindy Lou. Are you there?
I'm okay with pasta.
Cindy Lou.
Pasta is great for me. So, Alex, you okay with pasta?
Cindy Lou. I think that was an accident. I'm not going to do it. All right, because I know you, but I think that was an accident. All right. Moving it along. Who do we have next? Ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Who is this? Jazzy J? Jazzy J. Jazzy J, that's a galaxy, Jazzy. I don't want to penalize people, honestly, for coming in listening, but somebody has to explain this to me. How on earth does this keep happening? Oh, it was an accident. All right, fair enough. That's the warning then. That's the warning. All right. I think you got to make sure you're tapping the screen. Where do you have to tap at? Hold on. Make sure you're tapping me if you're trying to tap the screen. All right. Because if you don't and you tap anywhere else, like these boxes to your right, you will accidentally send me a guest request. And I know I think that's what's happening, honestly, for most of you. Lil Rican, good morning. Welcome. Oh, wait a second. Who do I have? Shell?
Hi. Good morning.
Shell, are you there?
I'm here. Hello.
Okay. Well, I brought Lil Rican. Lil Rican, please send me a guest request, and then I'll bring you up next. I'll do one at a time. So, Shell, did you accidentally send me a guest request?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome.
Hi. Good morning.
All right. Good morning. Well, what brings you up here this morning?
I am so upset. We have had Black young men being hanged, and nobody is talking about it. Kyle Bazinga from Georgia went missing, and he was found on February 18th, hanged in Marietta,
Well, we don't want to
Georgia.
use that word, but can we use a word like, we know what you're talking about. Strange fruit. How about that?
Okay.
Because,
Strange
TikTok
fruit.
does things, but I get what you're saying.
And it's not on any news station at all. None. Nobody's talking about it. And I don't know how to get around to getting it, especially here in Atlanta. I just don't know. Our kids are going missing and nobody is talking about it.
Wow. Well, the first thing to do is come onto platforms like this, right? Because you never know why, what happens when you say things. And then creators, they tend to do things like make videos. And then sometimes that combined effort leads to it getting the national recognition. So what I'm looking at is, okay, Cobb officials said that they understand the concern of the case of a young man found unaliving from a tree park, reiterated no indicators of foul play. They said there's no indicators of foul play. Isn't that something? 21-year-old.
Okay. So
wow.
He lives 40 miles away from there. They didn't find a car. They didn't find a ladder being put up against the tree. How did he climb the tree to hang himself? Come on.
Strange fruit?
I mean, strange fruit.
Go.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, because we got to keep the live going because TikTok, they take us down when we say things too harshly. But what I want to say is, number one, thank you so much, Shell, for bringing this up. It definitely does need to be out there that there's a situation like this that's taking place because the narrative out there is this stuff is a thing of the past, right?
Well, the thing about it is, it happened I don't know if you remember the story. Two twins from, I think it was Ohio, they had a layover in Atlanta, and they ended up missing from the airport and were found 80 miles away in a YT area hanged. How did
Ma'am,
they get from the
I
airport
gotta.
80 miles? I mean,
Uh,
oh God. I mean,
I get what you're saying,
I'm
but
sorry.
okay,
I'm sorry. Strange,
okay, fair
strange
enough.
fruited.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. All right, well, listen, Chef, I don't want to laugh at this because this is serious, but I do want to thank you honestly for bringing, this serious. It's very serious, and there's been repeated instances of this occurring, and the point is there needs to be more attention on this, and we need to get to the bottom of what's really happening. I don't buy the narrative, honestly, that they said there's no foul play suspected. I don't buy the narrative. When I hear that, it's actually, to me, there is foul play involved. You know what I'm saying? And
If we can get it out there and let our young black, especially our black men, know, do not go out by yourselves.
thank you.
Just try to be safer, please, please, please. I mean, I have lost a child, not due to
Yeah.
violence or anything, but I don't want any other mother joining this club. You do not want to be a member of this club.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Thank you so much. Well, listen, Shell. Thank you as always. All right, man. And I got to make sure I give you a
Thank you.
follow. All right. I appreciate you having the courage to come up here and speak on an issue like this. All right, in front of thousands and thousands of people. But we need more folks like yourself. All right, to keep the awareness factor up and make sure we hold these people accountable. Because you know what I thought about as well. This is probably going to be one of those crimes that they don't report. You know what I mean?
No.
And that's why I don't
Yes.
trust the crime statistics. All right, but it's very, very important. And thank you for bringing attention to this matter this morning. All right, ladies and
Love you
gentlemen, we
guys.
gotta give it up. W's in the chat for Shell. No lies detected. You see what I'm saying? It's not stuff that's happening. It happened back then with our ancestors. This stuff is happening now, and I know they're never going to assign the blame for this stuff where it truly belongs. But they want to talk about all the crime people of color and immigrants are committing. Where's the National Guard? That's my question. Where's ICE? Where's the National Guard when you need it? Nowhere to be found. It's sick. Moving it along. Good morning, Lil Rican.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing as good as I can. How about you?
I'm doing well.
All
A
right.
quick question.
Sure.
How many black or brown folk have come out and said that they are dyslexic?
I haven't heard too many, but I've heard it a lot in my community, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but the only ones who put it out there as being dyslexic are YT.
Okay, so where you trying to take me with that? I mean, it depends on how you see it, but I guess what's the point you're trying to make?
What I'm trying to make is that even people, YTs, are admitting black nor brown folk need to put that on the forefront. It's a disability.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that we're stupid. It just means we don't understand things correctly.
Okay.
And it takes us just a little bit of time to, absorb it.
Yeah.
So what makes us different than anybody else?
It doesn't, but they always try to come up, from the way that I see it, they always try to come up with a way to divide people, right? And race is the easiest thing to use. They weaponize it, right?
Right, but we also know that Trump is as dumb as a bag of rocks.
Would you say he's racist?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 54. I've been following him for years.
Wow.
Yes, he is.
Wow. Would you say he's more of a racist than Joe Biden?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I needed you to say. Thank you, Lil Rican. I mean, it's so obvious that he is, and yet it's just, to me, the hypocrisy. I don't like it, honestly, when we know Donald. You say you've been following him for years, right? He has a track record of this being racist stuff. And then he turns around and then he tries to say, oh, Gavin Newsom is X, Y, and Z, which is basically, every MAGA accusation is what? A MAGA confession?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. He knows. He knows.
Val called it an accusation.
There you go. W's in the chat for Val. Yeah, you're right. Well, Rican, you're absolutely, totally, 100% right. All right. Well, listen up. I gotta say thank you so much. All right. Was there anything else you needed to say, or do you think you got it all out? All right.
Right, because I don't like how they try to pinpoint, but you don't have facts, nor do you have proof.
You don't. Thank you. There you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. W's in the chat for Lil Rican. No lies. You're welcome. No lies detected. T80s girl, Texas 80s girl, you're back. I told you I'd bring you back up, Texas 80 girl. I hope this wasn't an accidental request, but I see you're back in the guest request, Texas 80.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, you're back.
Yeah.
All right.
My handle's Texas 80s girl.
Texas 80s girl.
Texas
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah.
That probably identifies me to the world. Everybody knows my.
Yeah, we got you. We got you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hadn't heard Gavin's. I only heard it from here this morning. But, what he was really talking about was opportunity. And so there are black and brown kids, sure, with low scores, but those scores are not reflective of intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
One, we know those tests, SATs, ACTs, were designed to do exactly what they do.
Yeah.
Was to filter out kids who haven't had the opportunity. The questions can be biased and racist.
I think the tests are racist, right? You're trying to say the tests are they're racist tests, yeah.
That's exactly what they were designed to do. So, I'll tell you from my own personal experience, I was in high school and I was already going to college before it was, now kids do it all the time, but before it was a thing.
Yeah.
And it was because my teachers and counselors, who all happened to be white, none of them were Hispanic, but they saw something in me and said, hey, they understood my parents didn't have the educational background to guide me.
Yeah.
Which, a lot of kids, a lot of white kids have that, so they're ahead of the game.
Right.
If your parents have gone to college, they know how to do it.
Yeah.
And so they kind of, encouraged me to do that. I did it. I was capable. I was going to college. I was doing just fine.
Yeah.
And I walked into one of my classes and all my friends were getting ready to go take a test. And I was like, what is everybody doing? And they said, oh, we're all going to go take the ACT. And in Colorado at that point, the big one was the ACT in our area.
Right.
And I said, I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know what it was. I was like, the ACT, they were like, you need this if you're going to go to college. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to college. You better believe I'm taking that test.
Yeah.
And I had a job and I had a checkbook. I walked into that room. I had never prepared. I had never studied. I'd never seen it, never heard of it.
Right.
I walked in. I did well. I didn't do great. Wasn't anything to write home about.
Yeah.
But that is what it was. It wasn't because I wasn't intelligent. It wasn't because I wasn't capable. Obviously, I was. It was just that I wasn't prepared like they were prepared.
That part.
I didn't know what it meant and what was to come.
Yeah.
It didn't affect my acceptance into college. I was already in college, so it didn't matter. But that's what happens with those low scores.
Yeah.
And then when you have a disability of some sort, and believe me, there are so many kids who have undiagnosed disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
And they it's not that they're not smart. I mean, obviously Gavin Newsom is a smart guy.
Yeah.
How are you gonna? There's so many people.
Yeah.
So many people.
Yeah. Thank you.
And it could be little things. And I think the biggest disability is opportunity and money.
That part. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. You're doing it. You're
opportunity
doing it.
And money.
So ultimately, what
that's
you're saying is you don't take the remark Governor Gavin Newsom made as being racist. You're saying basically he was calling out the fact that basically the whole setup in itself, in a way, is racist because a lot of people don't have the exposure to that pass that test, right? And it's part of a larger issue when you start talking about racism. Well, You know what?
Well,
Texas.
reason she could take me to doctors to have me diagnosed.
Yeah.
She was able to intervene in my education and provide opportunity for him. When you have kids that don't have money, don't have access, don't have opportunity, their schools don't have the funding to address it, you know, it's all like the redlining they used to do with, housing, and they do it with, the grocery store deserts. I see it all over the place.
Yeah.
You kids, people say, oh, poor people, they're so fat. Well, let me tell you why poor people may be a little heavier, because they can't afford
quality,
the healthier stuff,
yeah, the quality
food.
Yeah, you're totally right.
They
Well,
can't
listen.
afford it.
Well, thank you. Well, you're right. Now, listen, Texas 80s.
You got my blood boiling this morning.
I know. Don't worry.
You got my blood boiling.
Don't worry. Don't worry. But you did a good job, all right, coming up here and calling it out and exposing it for what it really, truly is, right? And I just wanted to thank you, all right? And we're going to try to move on get some more guests up here, all right? But, ladies and gentlemen,
have a good day.
Texas 80
day.
girl, make sure you're following her. Give her a huge applause. No lies detected. Wow. Let's see. Do I have anyone out there that disagrees with Big Zeus? Go ahead. Put a 1 in the chat so I can see you real quick. All right. Ellie, thank you so much. Anyone disagree with Big Zeus? Put a 1 in the chat real quick. All right. Because we're cooking and booking. We're doing an outstanding job. Honestly, it's just amazing. When I think about Trump voters, I think they're the one group of people. They make an excuse for everything, right? Instead of just doing the work it takes to be great, they want participation trophies, so to speak. It's the most bizarre thing. They cry and complain about everything. And they're willing to give up all they have for Donald Trump to at least, acknowledge him in a weird way, right? It's sad. All right, let's see. Who do we have next, ladies and gentlemen? All right, who do we have next? Oh, my goodness. All right, who do we have next? T-Mac 29. T-Mac.
Good morning. Good morning.
Was this an accident?
No, sir. There's no such thing as an accident.
Oh, okay. That's a good cover up. That's a good way to try to flip it. That's a good way to try to flip it. But I can tell this was an accident. But since you're here, it seems like you got something you want to say.
It was not an accident though. But
okay, fair enough. What do you got?
No, I'm just I listen and I catch everything everybody was saying, but I don't understand what's really going on, as Marvin Gaye can say.
Yeah.
But everybody has cereal like it is.
You say you
Raisin Bran to be exact.
You're eating cereal.
Yeah, but no. What I'm saying is, people just need to have 2 eyes and 2 ears and listen to what's really going on.
So you're just trying to get out of paying that Galaxy. I get it, brother. I get it.
No, sir.
I know, brother, doing a little shimmying move, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? You don't want me to but I see it for what it is. And you know what I gotta say? That's very creative. All right, bro. T-Mac 29. I give you a round of applause. But you're not gonna trick me eating Raisin Bran. All right, and you got 2 eyes to see it. Like, all right, I know what that is. That's somebody. This is so and so calling you. You haven't paid your bill. Oh, well, listen up. Can I get it to you? Because I know the trick. All right, but I give it to you, bro. I give it to you. That's some creative shimmying right there. You did that on the spot too. All right. And by the way, was the cereal affordable? Was it cheaper than it was? Like Donald Trump said it was supposed to be. Was it the cheaper version of it, or did you pay full price?
I don't know why these cats get up here lying about the groceries. Everybody can see these damn groceries is high. Excuse my French, but they high.
They high
to the sky.
So they never went down.
Nope.
Fair enough. All right. Well,
yes, sir. I'm gonna let you keep cooking and booking, my friend. I'm gonna let you keep cooking and booking.
All right. I appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen. T-Mac 29. See what I'm saying? You get up here and you just tell the truth and shame the easiest thing, right? Because one thing we know is grocery prices, have they gone down like Donald Trump promised us that they would? No, they have not. Fair enough. All right, moving it along. All right, let's move it along. The highly favored. Welcome. Gas prices have gone up. I thought gas prices were $1.95 a gallon. Highly favored. Good morning, highly favored. Welcome to the show. Did you know you're on my guest request?
No, I don't know how I got up there.
See,
Sorry about that,
oh,
but
okay.
I totally agree with you. You cooking, you're booking,
All
and
right.
everybody knows that those prices are just going higher and higher.
Okay, fair
But
enough.
you know, I agree with you. Keep doing what you're doing, brother.
I appreciate it. All right, it's hard work, but somebody got to do it. You know what? But you're also helping me do it. All right. So thank you for standing up for what's right and admitting that the grocery prices are high. All right, I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
All right, highly favored. No lies detected. You know what? If you get up here and you were up here and you came up here on accident, but you at least acknowledge that there's certain things out here that are happening and are true. You know what? I'll go ahead and say you don't owe me the 2 galaxies, all right? But if you don't got anything and you just accidentally sent the guest request, you owe 2 galaxies. Fair enough, all right? Because one thing we all agree on when we have to, grocery prices are high. Moving it along, Mrs. Shug.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Did you accidentally send a guest request or did you intentionally do this? Hello? Miss Shug. Now I can't hear you. We were just having a good conversation and then it fell off. All right. So I'm going to take that as an accident. And now you know the rules. Go ahead, Miss Shug. Go ahead, send Big Zeus to 2 galaxies. Yeah, because we got to keep each other accountable. All right, moving it along. Yeah, moving it along. Who do we got next? Tammy. Good morning, Tammy. Nice to meet you. How are you? Tammy. So you're in the guest request. You're on the show. Oh, she jumped out. Okay. Tammy, we know who you are now. We know who you are. You got to understand that. You can't get away from it. You can't get away from it. All right. Galaxy time. Yes. W. Rick. Michael Lewis.
Hey, Zeus, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you? How can we help you this morning?
Okay, I agree with Little Rican who was just on
Yeah.
not too long ago.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm African American, and I have dyslexia.
Okay.
Big time, because I'll see a number like in 1, 2, 3, and I'll see it 3, 2, 1.
Got it.
Or ABC, CBA. So
Yeah.
it's something I gotta take my time like to really look at it.
Right.
And I say, okay, I got it. That's all I wanted to say. So thanks a lot.
Do you believe what Gavin Newsom said? Do you think it was racist?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
I just appreciate that. All right, fair enough. Let me ask you another question, because groceries
Yes,
seems
sir.
to be the thing. Based on how you see things where you're at in America, is the economy better or worse or the same?
It's worse
And why do you say that?
because of the stupid tariffs that we have to pay, not other countries. We got to pay those taxes. So it snowballs with that, everything else just go up.
Fair enough. Well, listen, you gotten up here, brother, told the truth, shamed the devil. I got to give you a huge round of applause.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and I appreciate you coming on up here. All right, anytime, come on up here and tell that truth and shame the devil. All right, moving it along. Who do we got next? Duke.
Oh shit.
Oh, now you went and messed up and cursed on my show.
My bad. That is crazy. Now I see what everybody mean. I just jumped back into the car. Uh-oh, here we go.
Yeah, so you know the rule. You know the rule. You know the rules.
What it is.
What's the
Wow.
rule if you hop in the box on accident after I repeatedly begged, please don't be in my box, please? What is the rule, Duke?
Something about some galaxies. I really don't understand how that works.
Now you don't know how that. You don't know how galaxies work on TikTok. You don't know about them.
Well, I only come on here really and just watch your show.
Oh, that's a good out. That's a good. So you don't do any other TikTok and you just come to Zeus's show. You don't ever send a galaxy to nobody.
Well, I don't know how to do all that.
Okay.
I'm a truck driver, so it's pretty entertaining from about 9:30 until about 12. Knock half of my day out.
All right. I really believe
state of Michigan. Hey,
I believe.
Okay, but now that I'm on here, then I apologize, man.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Much respect to everybody. You know, I listen to to everybody that come on and first of all, let me talk about this dyslexic.
Okay.
I understand that because I couldn't understand why I would study so hard when I was young, right? And I would sit there for hours and hours, and I'd go back and couldn't pass them tests.
Yeah.
But when I was coming up back in the 70s and 80s, nobody talked about it. But I could not. I could look at read a paragraph.
Yeah.
But I couldn't comprehend it. So the only way I was able to pass was I had to write it.
Oh.
I would look at it and I would have to write it, and that was the only way I could remember it.
Wow.
And that is real. You know what I mean? And a lot of people didn't know it.
Yeah.
I didn't know it until I was actually got up in college and someone brought it to my attention. But I spent all of those years of my childhood not knowing that I had a problem.
Yeah.
So it is real.
Wow. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that with us, because a lot of us, honestly, whether it's that or even things like seeing a therapist, those tend to be things, especially in our community, that we don't even know we got going on, right? And to your point, once you find out, it kind of opens it up so that you understand, okay, that's something that I can, really get support on and try to work on myself. And so with that being stated, do you take what Gavin Newsom said as him trying to, talking down about black people, in your opinion?
No, he didn't say nothing nowhere near that. What it was it's embarrassing for one thing.
Yeah.
Because if you sit next to somebody, like my sister would get straight A's, and I'd be like, she didn't even open the book. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
But to be real and come straight forward, admit it.
Yeah.
All that is doing, what he was saying was he was giving somebody some hope out there who might be struggling with something similar to that.
Wow.
So what he was saying was, hey, look, you can do anything you want to do. Put your mind to it and don't be afraid. I know what he meant exactly when he said he's not going to look at that paragraph somebody wrote up for him. He's speaking straight from the heart.
Yeah.
So in other words, he's speaking the straight truth.
Amen.
Nothing is up there. He might have it in his mind, but you can't tell exactly how the conversation is going to go. Just like when I heard you in my ear because I had the speaker on.
Yeah.
And then I heard you saying Duke. I said, uh-oh. Because sometimes I comment.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get on here and stay too long. Much respect. Though.
All right.
You keep me busy, from 9:30 to 12, when you be on. But I do want to say one thing. And this dude gets on my nerves. I can't stand it. And I had to get off the live when I hear his name.
Who?
And last year, Q Dog almost begged Dame as a man. I heard it in his heart because I felt it.
Yeah.
He was trying to say, wake up, man, wake up. And y'all keep giving him credit, and time after time, he keep going back and going back.
Yeah.
Q Dog was sick.
Yeah.
And it just burns me that, why is it that he can't?
Ain't that? Appreciate that. I know he heard you.
Do you know how long ago that was?
Yeah, that was last year. I think that
was
last. Yeah, it was last year, I believe. I was out of the state, so to speak, and I remember that very, very powerful moment. And I'm and I'm the Rizzler, right? I got words, I got vocabulary and situations and words I could use, but I'm really lost for words in this moment because I don't get what they see. And the only thing I can conclude, brother, is this. When Donald Trump said this,
you're either stupid or you hate the country.
He wasn't lying.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that makes sense. I could be wrong.
but Q Dog, he much respect, and I mean, I'm telling you, I felt it. You know what I mean? But this voice, I'm like, okay, he gonna catch on now.
Yeah.
He gonna understand that all y'all doing is telling the truth, and what we hear and what we see is real.
Yeah.
It's real.
Thank
So
you.
how is it that this man is not catching on? I mean, you will say something, you will play something, and then we all see it, and then he'll come and say something opposite. And it just gets under my skin. I don't know why it's just him, but I'm like, bruh, everybody keeps saying we know you got it, but how is it you not seeing? And you keep coming to this platform every day with the rest of us, and you keep acting like this.
You're right.
I literally had to get off the live.
Wow. Wow. Man, Duke, thank you. You gave me something this morning by telling me that. You gave me something. And I got to say, I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and give you a follow, bro. All right? Seriously, you didn't turn the camera on and everything.
All right, much respect, y'all.
Hold on.
You know what I'm saying? And Jim bring that fire. And
Yeah.
Keisha Blue, much love. I always hit her up.
Yo, there you go, brother. There you go.
Shay,
There you go.
Shay, all of them. What up, though, from Michigan?
Hey.
Straight up Michigan. So, you know, much respect to the kingdom. And
Hold on.
hey,
Y'all show Duke some love, man. This brother got up in here. He didn't come in here playing games, you know. Now, one more question, though, because I got to ask you, you're a regular American. The economy, is it better or worse since Trump got in office?
Man,
and
I'm
why?
about to go to the grocery store right now. I don't even complain. What I got to get, because it's terrible. Everything is terrible. Everything is terrible.
Thank you.
Ain't no way around it.
Thank
you just gotta go ahead and accept it and deal with it and keep praying and hope that we can get out here and, like everybody say, vote and just, you know, go ahead and vote and let's just try to get it straight. But in the meanwhile, we have to stay safe.
Thank you, man. And you got a lot of the looking at you a little too long. So you know what I'm gonna do right there, then, bro? Because see, I can't have that.
Man, look,
I can't have
know
that.
better than to try to. I know better than to mess with you, bro. Hey, I don't want no trouble, man.
Dude, you all right, brother?
No trouble with you, because I'll be you, man. You almost had me crash the truck a couple times, bro. I was like, oh, why did he say that? He's about to get it.
Yeah. Fair enough. You right, man, Duke, man. You know what? You straight up.
Antifa. Hey, I don't know, but I think Antifa. I heard him
in Missouri.
You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Missouri.
Right,
oh no,
brother.
actually, I think he
y'all.
did say he did. No, never mind. I know he's from Michigan. You right. But yeah, what were you gonna say to him?
That's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, much respect, man.
Okay.
Because he keep it real. We straightforward up here. We very humble. But then when he get on, I'll be like, oh, he about to go.
Yeah.
He about to go.
So true, man. Wow. See, this is what I'm saying. What an amazing show today, Duke. You made my day, bro. I'm glad things happen for a reason.
Man, much respect, man.
Yeah, people gave you a follow.
And it was in my pocket, I swear. So these people, when I heard Duke, I said, oh, I'm in trouble now.
Yeah. Well, you're not in trouble. I mean, honestly, this worked out, so I appreciate it. You know, you ready to go as soon as you got in the box, and we cooked and booked together, bro. Seriously, all right. Now I got to move it on, but ladies and gentlemen, give it up
much respect to the kingdom.
All right, give it up to Duke. No lies. Wow, you see that, ladies and gentlemen? We stand for love, not hate. Now, I did see the comment. Someone said, "How do you send a galaxy?" I don't know how to explain it, but there's a little pink box, right? You click on that pink box, and then you go and the gift gallery pops up, and you scroll down, and there's a thing called Galaxy, and you got to make sure you got TikTok coins in order to do it, right? Now, I don't need you to do it for me, but if you do it, send it to the panelists, right? Send it to the panelists because the goal here is, honestly, as much as I am the Rizzler, I get it. I do my part, my monologue. All right, you want to support me, do it during the monologue. But when the guests come up here, it does mean a lot to me. It does mean a lot to them. If you can do it, and especially those of you who are, accidentally hitting that guest request. But as always, it's never been a requirement on this show to send them. All right, I'm just doing it now because I don't understand how people are in my guest requests so often. All right. The main thing that I want people to do, this is the ask. Make sure you go out and you take the information that's shared on this platform. Number one, go verify it for yourselves. All right. Because you know what people like to do. Oh, well, you told me, and then they blame you. Right. So that's just rule number one. But then number two, you got to stand for, because a lot of people, I get it. You're working. or even having conversations with folks on the other side of the aisle. That's just not in your wheelhouse, so to speak. But in the spaces that you occupy, this is the only ask. I do require you to stand up and speak out when you see injustice occurring. That's the real ask of this show. All right, and continue to do the work honestly to get spread the truth and make sure folks are aware of really what is at stake. Because I really do believe the most dangerous thing in this country is an uninformed person. All right, because they'll go in the voting booth and guess what they'll do? They will vote for more of what Donald Trump has been doing to this great country of ours. All right, and a lot of it is harmful to us. I'm not comfortable watching him enrich himself while we all have to starve, and we're struggling to make ends meet, so to speak. And none of the promises that he's made on his campaign trail, even though I didn't vote for him, he still, to me, he still should be keeping those promises. All right, and he's not. And so that's why shows like this are very, very important. All right, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. And I got to say it again. All of you who continue to come onto this platform and engage and help me get the truth out, it goes without saying, I really do appreciate it. And even some of the people who are on the right, who are brave enough to get in here. You don't agree with me politically, I get that. But some of them, and you've all been a part of it, they'll come back 6 months later, a year or two later. Zeus, I stayed away from your show because it hurt me to have to admit you were right, but you've been right the whole time. And that's just how this goes. It's a lot of the change that needs to take place. You're not going to be able to do it on this show. You're going to have to do it personally. Because anybody that understands people are struggling with addiction, so to speak, it's not going to happen overnight. A lot of these folks, they're addicted to Donald Trump. They are addicted to Donald Trump. They've been hooked on him for years, and asking them to quit him on one show, it's very difficult. It's a tall order. Some people do it, but over here, I know it. I get human behavior. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like Big Zeus. Hold on. I was gonna sign off, but I'll give Nutty a chance. Good morning, Nutty. Welcome.
What's up, Duke? Yeah. My man, man, Duke.
Yeah, I figured you like Duke. Go ahead, Nutty.
Listen.
He's right.
Listen, we do. We those of us from the North, specifically the Mitten State, the Great Lakes State, the greatest state, Michigan, except for in the wintertime. Yeah, we do. We the way we grow up, we're just very straightforward people.
Yeah.
But so I don't know what Gavin Newsom said, but what compels me hearing the way the
you want me to play it for you?
Treated, yeah, please do.
Because you're going to be the. Go ahead and get it on. Let's get at what Gavin Newsom said. Once again, I got to. All right, here we go.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. I'm a 960 SAT guy. and I'm not trying to offend anyone, trying to act all there if you got 940. But literally a 960 SAT guy. I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech. Maybe the wrong business to be in.
So you get what he's saying, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. But what I was going to say is hearing the response from the other side, that automatically makes me agree with Gavin Newsom, not even hearing what he said, because I know that they don't have two brain cells to rub together to form their own thought.
Yeah.
So therefore I know that, it's, it doesn't mean anything when they try to say something is racist.
Yeah.
But here's a vulnerable moment. As an educator, I'm an educator. As an educator who grew up in a community where 97% of the population was white. In my high school was a small high school. There were 65 people graduating in my graduating class in 1991. I was one of 2.5 black people that graduated that year. Because Tony was mixed, so we always called him half. Hearing high school counselor asking me what I wanted to do in my future, and I told her I was going to go to the University of Michigan. She told me, Zeus, you might as well give up on that dream because you're not going to make it. She told me that I should go to, so we have what's called the Skills Center, Van Buren Skills Center, which teaches you how to do things like auto mechanics, things of that nature, which is still a needed profession.
Yeah.
But that's not what I wanted to do. My heart was set on going to the University of Michigan. And so I was a junior at the time. And she's like, yeah, there's no way you're getting into the University of Michigan. And she wasn't saying that because I had bad grades. I was in the top of my class.
Yeah.
She wasn't saying that because I was a bad student.
Right.
So what other reason was she saying that? Exactly. Y'all know the deal. Long story short, not only did I get into the University of Michigan, I graduated from the University of Michigan with my undergrad degree.
Yeah.
Then I went to Western Michigan University and got my graduate work. Then I went back to the University of Michigan for law school. One of the toughest law schools to get into in the nation. So here's the thing, Zeus. I cannot take a test. I know the information, but you put that piece of paper in front of me.
Yeah.
I will fail it every time. And I did fail it every time. I failed it every time. And if it wasn't for my high school Spanish teacher, her name is Mrs. Bowden. I will never forget that woman. She said to me, she said, Antoine, yeah, I just gave my government name. She said, how is it that you know this material, but you failed this exam? I had no answers because she was right. I knew the material, but I failed the exam. So what she did, Zeus, and this changed the trajectory of my life, this moment right here. She said, I'm going to give you the opportunity to retake that exam.
Wow.
But this is what I want you to do. I want you to stay after school on this date. Come back to my room. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to be there with you. She gave me the exam orally.
Yeah.
And I answered her questions and I aced it.
Wow.
From that moment on, for the rest of my high school, she advocated for me.
Wow.
She advocated, the only black teacher in my school. She advocated for me, Zeus.
Wow.
She went to all of my other teachers and said, he cannot take a test. He will fail. It doesn't define who he is as a student.
Amen.
And guess what, Zeus?
What's that?
Every teacher I had since then, I took oral exams and aced them.
Amen.
And it continued. It continued when I went to college. Now that I'm an educator, Zeus, I can recognize when a student knows the material but fails an exam. So I extend that same courtesy to the students that I have under my care right now.
Yeah. Because
you can't tell a person's worth by a test. That's why I hate exams.
Amen.
I hate them. You cannot tell their worth by taking a test. And I teach to educate. I don't teach to remember what I'm trying to teach. I want you to learn it, not remember it for a test.
Amen. Tell them, Nutty. Thank you.
I appreciate you letting me up.
No problem.
We have to. And so if people thought what Gavin was saying was racist, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I guarantee the people who's saying that he's a racist, they're all white people who are racist.
Oh, and black people. There's some black folks too. Tim Scott said it was concerning. This is why I covered it today. I said, "Oh my gosh."
Zeus, stop.
Yeah, no.
What do we? Wait, well, hold on, Zeus. What do we always say, especially when you and I are going back and forth? We tell the truth and what?
Shame the devil.
We shame the devil,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
We know that Tim Scott ain't black. So why are you going to say and some black people?
Oh, you're right. My bad. I apologize. Because we right. Remember when Joe Biden said, if you have a problem, then you ain't black? I forgot. Yeah, there's a lot of people who present, but they ain't black.
Right.
They confused.
Looking like that character from Fat Albert.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even want to hear that.
Thank you. I'm humble enough to admit that I was wrong. Thank you, Nutty.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
So And I'm sure Dame agrees with Tim Scott. So Duke brought up Dame's name, and I remember that moment.
I do
remember
too.
that
We all
moment that he was
remember.
referring to.
We all remember.
And listen, this is why I have so much respect for Q, because Q is a better person than I am, because I'm not going to take that much mental energy to spend on Dame. Because some people are just lost. That whole George W. Bush thing, No Child Left Behind.
Yeah.
Dame was left behind before he even got started.
Lord have mercy, really. Well, I really
so
do
he
hope.
was left behind.
Yeah, I hope that they are listening, because they know who they are, and that they're receiving this feedback, because feedback is a gift if you treat it that way. And what you do in your own way, Nutty, you still care. I know you do care, but it's tough.
I do care. But one thing that I've learned, especially with Dame, is that Dame is not a stupid individual. He is not stupid. He's not dumb. He's dumb to support Donald Trump, but he's not a stupid person. Dame does this for the clicks. Dame does this for the likes. Dame does this to see how many TikTok coins he can get. Dame is a class A grifter. He took the Donald Trump's grifting class, and so he's trying to perfect the Donald Trump's grifting class.
Wow.
That's why Dame does what Dame does.
Well, at
the end of the day, Zeus, we are black men. When we walk out on that street, we're still N-words to these people. We're still N-words to them. When we walk out in these streets, they still gonna beat our butts if they feel the need to do so. When we walk out on the streets, they're not gonna say, oh, that's Dame over there. He voted for Donald Trump. That's a good guy. They're not gonna say that. They're gonna look at his skin color and they're gonna say, that's the N-word over there. Get him. At the end of the day,
that's no lie.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
And when I hope that Dame realizes that before he really starts believing the things that he's preaching. Because I guarantee you Dame doesn't believe the things he's saying. I guarantee you
I think
he doesn't.
he do. I think he does. But you know,
and if he does, he's starting to believe his own rhetoric, and it's going to get him unalive.
Now that's true.
It's going to get him unalive.
That's true. That's why
I've always said. How many times have I said Dame is dangerous to our own community? How many times have I said it?
You said it quite a bit. He has.
This is why I say that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, you know what? What a great way to wrap things up and, put down or to shoot down the narrative, so to speak, that Gavin Newsom is being racist. Once again, we've placed the blame where it squarely belongs, which is on MAGA
Power to
and
the people.
BLAGA. All right.
Power to the people. Rest in peace, Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Amen.
Have a good day.
All right. You have it, ladies and gentlemen. What a great show. I want to give all of you a huge round of applause. We survived another broadcast here on Zeus News. Yeah, it's Zeus News. It comes at you real fast. That's why it's like lightning striking and hitting you, Thank you, Brother Nutty. All right. But on a serious note, I want to give a special thank you to all of you who tuned in this morning. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here with us. I want to give a special thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. Honestly, we did a lot this morning. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel it. We did a lot this morning. All right, but I also got to give another round of booze and shame. And you know who this goes out to? It goes out to all of these Zeus haters out there. These are false accusers. These are fake Christians. They lay in wait and try to catch me and pounce on me, but they never win because I stand for truth. You stand for truth. These people, they don't stand for truth. They stand for evil, wickedness, darkness. And tonight they're going to be indoctrinated by their dear leader about how great things are, despite the obvious realities that Americans all over the country continue to suffer as a result of Donald Trump's failed leadership, his reckless governing, and just all out unabashed criminal conduct. Especially when you start talking about things that he's done with those Epstein files. They don't like talking about the Epstein files, but they know he's not handling that correctly. And they know he's actively harming the people, the victims and survivors. They know that. And yet they still rush to his defense because these are some sick people. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him one last round of, you guessed it, booze and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All righty then, ladies and gentlemen. You know what this means. We got to get on out of here. Let's go ahead and wrap it up with everyone's favorite song, because you're going to hear it tonight. You're going to hear it tonight when Trump does his State of the Union. All right, what is it called? What about Biden? Welcome. You're welcome.
What about Biden? Yeah, yeah. What about Biden? Oh,
have a great rest of your morning.
What about Biden? Oh, the whole election night. Read the books, dead tonight.
Yeah, that ain't right.
What about Biden? Borders wide open, let them flood it.
Hey.
Millions crossing, drugs pouring. Where we begin.
Have a great rest of your morning, ladies and gentlemen. What a show.
Can't feed your child.
Yeah.
What about Biden? Afghanistan mess left them behind.
13 soldiers gone.
Joe acting blind.
You know it. It's a sad story.
What about Biden? Yeah, yeah. What about Biden?
Yeah.
What about Biden?
It's a sad story. Listen to this.
Yeah. Up in the White House, call him Sleepy Joe. Cognitive decline. Everybody knows. Stumbling words, just can't finish a sentence. Pumping on strings, who pulling the leverage? On his laptop, bullets of deals. China cash flow, million concealed. Family getting paid, influence pedal while we out here struggling, pockets unsettled. Weaponized OJ, FBI raids. Mar-a-Lago storm, 100 gets praised. January 6th, locking up brands, but Joe specified in his garage, man. Keystone cancel, energy weak. Depending on foes, gas $4 a week. Crime in the cities, soft on the streets, defund the police. Chaos.
What about Biden?
Stole the whole election night. Read the votes dead tonight.
Yeah, that ain't right.
What about Biden? Borders wide open, let them flood. Millions crossing, drugs pouring. Where we begin? What about Biden? Gas prices, inflation wild.
Economy dying, can't feed your child. What about Biden?
Afghanistan mess left them behind. 13 soldiers gone. Joe acting blind.
What about him?
Yeah, yeah.
What about Biden? This is a sad story. This is my favorite part right here. What about him? Oh, get it. What about him? Yeah, put your heart into it. Whatever you do, put your heart into it. What about him? Every one of you should be asking that question. What about Biden? What about him? Have a great rest of your morning, ladies and gentlemen. I get so emotional, honestly.